Other interesting political news, you have Democrat city councilman saying that the NYPD gang database is racist, which, yeah, this, more people who want to erase history in true 1984 fashion, one of the best books of all time. This is also brought to us thanks to End Wokeness, and he says, quote, City Councilwoman Athena Stevens asked NYPD to delete its gang database because racism. And it's about 46 seconds of insufferability, but we shall get through it together. Well, probably, no promises. At least you did dress up for it.
And just the last thing, this isn't a question, this is a comment. I know the police's feelings on the gang database and how, you know, they feel that it can be improved. I'm just always gonna stand on the side of things cannot be fixed when it already comes with a broken system. A broken clock could be right twice a day, and things like that just have to go because it stems from racism. And I know that you feel very differently, but that's just not going to change it. And I know it's in your testimony. I was not going to bring it up, but because you brought it up, I'm going to bring it up. And so I know we have conversations coming up to talk about how you feel about it, I feel about it, but I just have to say it because you brought it up, and so I just brought it up. So that's it. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, and again, you do have some areas in the United States where they're rewriting history, they're rewriting definitions of, you know, crimes, erasing some crimes, but I don't think that's working for them long term. Though, wait a minute, are leftist cities usually safe, great places to live? Oh, wait, they are not. Now, this went moderately viral, got about 400,000 views and 10,000 likes. Now, one of the first ones comes from Gigi claiming that Athena Stevens is a Christian woman with a lot of empathy, which I can understand. I should clarify, nearly everyone deserves a second chance, because let's be honest, there's some crimes that I think are against humanity, you don't deserve a second chance. But no, she's, you know, I did a little quick research on her. She's, you know, obviously she's a Democrat, and yeah, you can give someone a second chance and, you know, also acknowledge there's probably a high propensity that this individual will commit another crime again. Again, I'm not saying all crimes are equal. I mean, some are more severe than others, obviously. But yeah, she also got 118 comments, but it's not loading for some weird reason. The undercurrent says, quote, oh yeah, let's delete the gang database because feelings. Next up, fire alarms are discriminatory to smoke. Clap if you lost the plot entirely. Gained 323 likes. Jamie's says, quote, typical leftist nonsense. Deleting the gang database won't make crime disappear. It just makes it harder to catch the criminals. Stevens is prioritizing wokeness over public safety, endangering law-abiding citizens. This is why places and cities like New York City are crumbling under soft crime. Gained 599 likes, which, yep, exactly. David Santa Clara says, quote, can we just admit the melting pot experiment failed and get the hell away from these people? Gained 541 likes. Well, I would also argue, well, I think in many areas of melting pot, wow, can't even speak today. Click that subscribe button, it might help with my speaking ineptitudes. When I first started the show, I stumbled over my words worse than Joe Biden trying to climb upstairs and spoke even faster than Ben Shapiro. But as I slowly but surely gain more subscribers, I've been better at speaking. Some might argue it's just a modicum of improvement. Barely anything at all, statistically speaking, though, I would argue still an improvement. So click that button, I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I definitely disagree with Dave Santa Clara in terms of, I would argue that American experiment is awesome. And it really is just these shitties, or these cities as people properly pronounce it. I mean, you look at people in the country, I mean, shoot, my neighborhood, again, this anecdotal, you know, good old DFW, but my neighborhood is pretty diverse in terms of, you know, countries and race, in terms of ideology, pretty similar, and even more importantly, our values are very consistent. Again, I think it's just cities are just always hellholes. Again, it blows my mind that people pay a premium to live in a downtown area when it's a pain to park. You have to pay to park, which I find abhorrent. But you also have crime all the time, huge government expenses, huge taxes. Just, I find it, I would never live in a city. You couldn't pay me. But that did get 541 likes. Punished MF says an orange Tugan in human clothing. I don't know what that is. Star Wars, getting 449 likes. Dogan says, quote, who play the race card all the time, getting 44 likes. The conservative alternative says, quote, statistics are super racist. Quick, someone distract the public from the basic facts. And here you can see a chart in which they note the crime statistics on, you know, black on white versus black on Hispanic versus white on black versus white on Hispanic. They have Hispanic on white, all the different ones. And they show the smallest, or one of the smallest ones being white on black, statistically speaking, but the camera is only showing that one bar. Got 142 likes. Scrolling down more and more. A lot of amazed. Tommy Crane says, quote, is she saying that blacks are the only race in the gangs? Are they database? She's The ignorant racist in the room getting 16 likes. Voice of Sanity says, quote, a fine example of why we need to stop electing illiterate fools at the local levels too, getting 18 likes. That is one of the biggest issues in the United States is people not voting on a local level. The presidential election gets obviously a lot of headlines, a lot of attention. I mean, it's quite literally $1 billion race. But in terms of local elections, there's a huge impact on your life, and it's mostly in terms of governance on a local level. And geez Louise, it is amazing how many people don't get off their keysters and just take a couple minutes to go vote. And hopefully they take a couple of more minutes to actually have an educated vote. I can't help but feel it's even all more rare in the United States these days. Scrolling down more and more. Ben from Tax to Death says, quote, does race matter for gang member database? No, not really in my opinion. Maybe it was. In 2025, race is an identifier that is a fact. It's only about race when it makes you about race. I can also empathize with her. She probably has faced some real racist people. Getting 16 likes. Thomas Huck has a picture of a credit card that's been photoshopped to say race card, getting 3 likes. Let's see. Rodfather says, quote, they want crime and civil breakdown throughout America. It's obvious that they want this constitutional republic burned to the ground and communist China-style government installed. Getting 10 likes, which, it's definitely not out of the realm of possibilities. Senior Patriot says, quote, claiming it is racist, Athena Stevens wants to cover up the gang database. This is ridiculous. These figures are factual, not racist. Getting 12 likes. A couple of people doing the cliche memes are going around talking about black fatigue. Never seen this one before. Oddly reminiscent of my childhood is the Cartoon Network logo, however, has been rearranged in different letters. It says F you know, which I'm pretty sure that's the same like trademarked font, or it's the same font. And it kind of breaks my heart that they recently closed the studios for that. What used to be a glorious company. But yep, yet another reason not to live in those leftist hellholes. I mean, we saw this a couple years ago when, they changed the definition of crimes in places like San Francisco, and they also did not report them to the FBI, so those crime statistics actually looked a little bit more favorable in their more favorable for them. But let me know thoughts and comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so you can click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.